And FirebatHero now pushing out. I'm not sure if FirebatHero is aware. I think FirebatHero is not aware that Savior's got that double gas from that Expo. And Savior does have an Nidus canal there as well. So Savior's going to actually be able to flank FirebatHero very effectively from the south, because FirebatHero, I'd love to see his first-person view mode, because to me it looks like FirebatHero is not aware of that Expo, and he's going to end up getting Savior with a quick Nidus canal, pure genius play. He's going to be able to flank FirebatHero from behind from that Expo, and FirebatHero is not going to expect that at all. Savior getting up those Sunkens very quickly. He does have a few troops there. He's got his Defilers up as well, so FirebatHero is going to find it very hard to break this defense, because Savior is just going to be able to swarm over those lurkers, and FirebatHero just trying to set up that siege. FirebatHero setting up siege outside Savior's base, and he's irradiating that Defiler, but Savior's going to be able to get that swarm up anyway. Savior gets off the first swarm. He gets off the second swarm, so those lurkers are going to be able to get right up to those tanks, and FirebatHero's got his Medic Marines positioned behind the tanks, and Savior now sending the Zerglings down just to the south of the base to make sure FirebatHero doesn't get another expansion. But FirebatHero has got that expansion at the Island Expo, and that might be what allows FirebatHero to sustain himself long term in this game, because Savior is not aware of that Expo. Certainly now that he's seen that dropship from FirebatHero, that should allow him to think of the possibility of an Expo in a position like that. And FirebatHero is now just bunkered down. And FirebatHero, having seen those Zerglings skirmish around the south of the map, has got to be aware that potentially Savior's got something in the south of the map. And Savior, it looks like he's going to take his Island Expo as well. It looks like he's got drop technology. So both players setting up for a heavy extended macro game here. And FirebatHero now going for that expansion at the 8 o'clock position in the south of the map. Savior does have a Nidus canal there though, so he should be able to defend it very successfully. And Savior now just picking off a tank of FirebatHero. Brilliant micro by Savior, picking off that lone tank. And Savior is just going to pick off about 5 Marines there before that bunker gets completed. And Savior just picks off those Marines. It's going to slow FirebatHero down a little bit. He picks off those Marines and the science and the SCV, and Savior manages to get a swarm up, and FirebatHero just plagues all those just irradiates those lurkers and the Defiler. So Savior doing an excellent job, but he is allowing FirebatHero to mass those science vessels, and he needs to take down some of those science vessels, because FirebatHero very quickly has massed 3 science vessels. He's got a large force there knocking on Savior's door at the 8 o'clock expansion, and Savior's going to find it difficult to defend, because FirebatHero is just going to be casting that swarm again and again. And FirebatHero, the fact is that Terrans have so much maneuverability, all they have to do is irradiate and run away, and they can kill off the Zerg's units and wear the Zerg down slowly with that, which is why the Zerg needs to be so much higher in economy to be able to compete with that kind of play. And FirebatHero, as we've seen, is an expert at using those science vessels and massing those science vessels. So this has really gone into a big macro game here, and it'll be interesting to see what Savior can do. Thus far, FirebatHero is the player who's been on the offensive. Savior forced to defend, though Savior did do some excellent microing with those Zerglings and take out a few units of FirebatHeroes in that attack. FirebatHero now once again heading for the north, anticipating an expansion there, but Savior has not set up an expansion there, so that's not going to be very fruitful. And FirebatHero now is going to go for FirebatHero once again. FirebatHero, finding that the door at the 8 o'clock expansion was close to him, is now once again trying to go for the Savior's main and his natural expo. FirebatHero trying to keep the pressure on Savior to make sure that Savior is not able to counter and not able to pressure him at all. And Savior is also starting to build an expo at the 12 o'clock position. FirebatHero is building an expo at the 6 o'clock position. So I would again have to say, like, this game is turning out very much to be like the Python game, and Savior cannot let this continue for much longer. Savior needs to do something to pressure FirebatHero, to put him under pressure. It looks like Savior is going for a massive drop here, and I don't think FirebatHero is anticipated. FirebatHero is positioning his medical marine, and he's building a turret as well. So it looked like Savior is going for a drop. That's not going to be very effective. Savior is going to lose that drop, lose a lot of units in that drop if he does go for it, and that might be catastrophic for Savior. That might give the game to FirebatHero, and then you might feel that he was going to win in the anti-hall, because if Savior goes for this drop, and Savior did not take that expansion at 9 o'clock that I thought he was going to go for with a drop, with his drop technology. So Savior maneuvering those 4. Savior just trying to send some Zerglings up and trying to take down, but those Zerglings are coming one by one, and FirebatHero's 3 Medican Marines able to hold. So FirebatHero has got, it looks like they're upgraded at least 1 armor and 1 attack, FirebatHero's Marine, so that's definitely significant. FirebatHero is going to scout that expansion to the north of Savior's, to the 6 at the 12 o'clock position of Savior's. Savior's just trying to get some forces up to flank and trying to take that expo at 6 o'clock down. So FirebatHero forced to bring his troops back, and FirebatHero once again pressuring that expansion. And Savior is going to try and push forward a little bit with his lurkers here, and Savior burying those lurkers, and Swarm goes off. So Savior's going to be able to kill a few of FirebatHero's units, but FirebatHero just moving his units back, and Savior manages to kill off one of the science vessels. Finally, Savior takes out a science vessel of FirebatHero's. I believe he's let FirebatHero accumulate too many science vessels. FirebatHero still about 3 or 4 science vessels, and Savior just scouting with those overlords, seeing that FirebatHero has not set an expansion at that position. FirebatHero dropping that dropship at the 9 o'clock base to prevent Savior from taking that base, and FirebatHero with great micro, not getting that dropship taken out by Scourge, but the dropship is going to get taken out now by Scourge, and Savior brilliantly with extra, and FirebatHero just managed to drop a single Marine onto that expansion. So Savior did manage to take that expansion out. Did manage to take that dropship out, even though there was nothing there. FirebatHero was just probably anticipating that Savior would have gone for an expansion there. Both players macroing very heavily. FirebatHero seems to be better off in terms of economy. FirebatHero has as many bases as Savior does, and he's certainly doing well. He's certainly not in any trouble in terms of economy, and he's continuing to mass those science vessels. And Savior's certainly on the back foot, certainly on the defensive, and Savior's just going to drop that expansion, it seems like, over that Marine to just try and take back that expansion. He's going to try and probably build an expansion there. I guess he just, yeah, Savior is building an expansion finally at the 9 o'clock base. And FirebatHero has snuck a Medic and Marine group up at the 12 o'clock base, and Savior's going to lose that expansion because he's not going to be able to get his troops out in time, and he's going to lose that expansion to FirebatHero's attack. Sorry, my wife was just knocking on the door. She wants me to hurry up. She doesn't realize that I have no control over how soon the StarCraft game finishes, unfortunately. Anyway, so I think Savior is in deep trouble here because FirebatHero has got about 4 or 5 expansions, and he's pumping units constantly from them. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 extra 5 command centers and 4 expansions, although one of them is a mineral only. Savior, though, does have that double gas expo, but FirebatHero is able to compete with that by the virtue of his extra expansions, and Savior is finding it very difficult to actually stay on par with FirebatHero in terms of forces here, and Savior's lurkers being irradiated, FirebatHero once again knocking on his door at 8 o'clock. FirebatHero doing a great job of picking off any new expansion Saviour's trying to set up, and Savior's got that Ultralist done up, so Savior's going to be pumping out Ultralist soon. I guess Savior feels he's got enough in those expansions to try and attack FirebatHero, but that might be a mistake. He needs to try and... FirebatHero is very good at defending, and he has got those turrets up in anticipation of that drop coming from Savior from the south at the 6 o'clock base. So that drop is not going to be very fruitful for Savior. He's going to end up losing a lot potentially in that drop if he persists with it. And FirebatHero with turrets and medics and marines, but Savior's going to go ahead with that drop anyway. He's not going to be able to drop anything. And the first, he only managed to drop 3 lurkers out of that's very poor. He's only managed to drop 3 lurkers out of the 3 overlords, and that was quite poor. And Savior does manage to get plagued, and he does manage to take that 6 o'clock base back. FirebatHero continuing to keep the pressure on, and Savior in big trouble here. You've got to feel that FirebatHero with the advantage in the game right now. He's got a large force built up. He hasn't lost any major battles. He's killed off Savior's expansions at least a couple of occasions and kept Savior on the back foot, and Savior's just basically on the defensive. Savior forced to defend consistently. Savior has got that expansion up in the 9 o'clock position, but FirebatHero has got 3 o'clock. He's also got the bottom at the 12 o'clock. He's also got the middle right at the lower end of the map. But I think hopefully this doesn't turn into another mind out game. And FirebatHero now knocking on Savior does manage to drop a couple of Ultralists, and he's going to be able to do some damage to that expansion and the south. But FirebatHero is breaking through into Savior's main, and Savior's in huge trouble here because Savior's expended his units in defending that, and Savior doesn't have a defiler up. Savior's Ultralists come up, but Savior needs a swarm. He needs a swarm to actually be able to hold that defense, and Savior's going to lose this game here if he doesn't get a swarm up very soon. He needs to pull those Ultralists back and keep them up for when he can actually get a swarm going, and this is going to be GG. FirebatHero is going to win this game now. I'm sorry. I know I'm calling it very early, but FirebatHero is in Savior's main. FirebatHero has a lot of units, and Savior's defiler coming up a little bit too late to set up a defense. Savior casting Plague. He needs to get a swarm up on that ramp if he's going to have any hope of defending this. He did successfully take out FirebatHero's, do a lot of damage to FirebatHero's expansion at the 6 o'clock position, but FirebatHero is not going to care. Savior's Ultra is just popping out, and FirebatHero's forces are killing them as they're popping out, and Savior is going to lose this game now because FirebatHero is going to be able to take out his main with that large force, which is going to be reinforced. And Savior with a large group of Scourges, they're going to get taken out by FirebatHero's Medic and Marines. He only managed to kill off a single science vessel, and that Ultra is trapped behind those, and Savior losing all his tech buildings. He's lost his defilers down there as well. So Savior now just losing this game. There's not going to be anything he's going to be able to do about it. FirebatHero has established himself outside Savior's main, and FirebatHero with a large advantage now in this game, with a decisive advantage in this game, and I don't think Savior is going to be able to come back in this game now. I feel FirebatHero is going to win. FirebatHero, though, hasn't reinforced his forces for some time now. I guess he possibly doesn't need to. Savior hasn't got anything in terms of an army there to actually combat FirebatHero. He's lost all of his tech buildings, and Savior now forced to fight with drones, refusing to concede the game even though it now looks hopeless for him. So this has to be GG. FirebatHero with a large group of tanks and medic and marines in Savior's main, and Savior's lost all of his tech buildings. Savior trying to kill off those tanks by virtue of Zerglings and drones, because he did manage to get a plague off on some of them, but I don't think FirebatHero is going to care about that. He's used those medic and marines to finish off Savior's tech buildings in his natural expo, and Savior finally GG's.